Hello and welcome. In this video, we will be looking into the topics of type function and typecasting. But before moving forward to this lecture, I need to tell you about commenting in Python. Comments are the lines of codes that are actually ignored by interpreter and is used to explain the code for better understanding. Now there are two types of commenting in Python. Number one is a single line comments and number two is a multi-line comment. In order to do single line commenting, we will use a hash and then write something like single line comment. And number two is a multi-line comment, which will be done through double quotes like this. And if you write something like multi-line comments, this line is called a single line comment and these three lines are called multi-line comments. Now if I execute my code, it will show me nothing because these are the comments that is actually ignored by the interpreter. Now what is actually a type function? A type is a built-in function that returns the data type of a variable. We have already covered what are data types like integers, floating points, strings, list and booleans. So if I say a equals to 1, b equals to 2.2, c equals to a, d equals to true and e equals to and now I want to find the data type of these variables separately. For that I will use a type function like print type, and it will contain two parentheses, and inside these parentheses I will write something like the variable name a. And if I execute this code, it will return class integer. Okay, it return actually the data type of this variable, which is actually an integer. I will copy paste it 5 times and will change the data types, put these things. And if I execute this code, it will return class integer, and it is an integer, it is a floating point, it is a string, it is a boolean, and it is a list. So the data type of a is int, which is actually an integer. For b it is showing float, and for e it is showing list, which is actually a list. Now another thing is typecasting. What actually is typecasting? Typecasting is a type conversion, meaning it converts one data type into another, either manually or automatically. There are two types. Number one is implicit conversion. In implicit conversion, Python automatically converts the data type. For example, if you have two variables, a equals to 2 and b equals to 2.2. Now if I add it, okay, and print type of c, it will actually convert it into floating point. At this stage it is actually an integer, and at this stage Python automatically convert it into float data type. Okay, so it is called implicit conversion of typecasting. Another one is explicit conversion, in which we will do manual conversion. For example, I will say that a equals to 5, which is a string data type, and b equals to 5, which is a integer data type. Now if I add both of these like print a plus b, it will give us a type error because we cannot actually add a string to an integer. For that we will actually convert the variable a into an integer like integer a. This specific line of code is a type conversion. Now if I print it, it will actually show me this. Or I want to convert b into a string. For that I will say a plus str b. So it will convert b and it will actually return the value 55, because when we add strings, it will not add it like as it do in the integers or arithmetic, because these are strings, so it will put it into something like 55. Now if we want to convert an integer like a equals to 2 into the floating points, okay, now if I print a, it will actually give me 2. If I say float a, it will actually convert this into 2.0. Now if I say the type, it is showing me that the type of variable a is now float, but at this point it is actually integer. Okay, we can also convert a floating point into an integer like enter f, knife e, say, so it actually removed this and it converted into an integer because integer doesn't contain decimal points. We can also convert a string like a equals to abc into the list. For example, if I say list of a, it will actually convert it into a list like this. Now we have another built-in function called input. The input is a built-in function that actually take the input from the users. Type age. We will say that age equals to input and will say something like enter your age. And when I say age, it will actually ask the user. Let me first comment all of this code. If you want to convert these lines of code into the comments, what you gonna do, you will press the control button and will press the question mark button, and it will convert all these line of code into the comments. If I again execute it, it will ask the user to type their code. If I say 22 and press enter, it will return 22. Now if I want to find type of this specific age, it will return strings. Why is that? The input function in Python will always return string no matter what. So whether if you are up to the string data type or integer data type or floating data type, the input built-in function will always return the string. So in order to make it into the integer, what we're gonna do, we will simply put the integer typecasting before the input built-in function. Okay, now if I print it again, it will return me an integer. So these are some basic concepts of typecasting and type function, and beside this we also look into the commenting and the input built-in function of Python. I hope you will understand these topics. Thanks for watching the video.